everybody's busy and got full schedules, and I want to take a few minutes just to talk to you about why I'm seeking the nomination for White City-Qu'Appelle. Obviously, Don McMorris isn't running, he's retiring, and so this opens up the constituency here, which hasn't been open. I think Don's been in for 20 some years, so this is kind of a new thing for this constituency. As well as that, the constituency boards have recently changed because they do it every number of years based on population and all those kind of things. So White City-Qu'Appelle is a constituency in which I live in, and we operate our family-run small business, Cedar Creek Gardens. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Cedar Creek. We're on Highway 6 South there, and we're all family-run. Some of you have had Christine Tell, maybe as your MLA. Others had Don McMorris, and each of them has contributed significantly to our constituency. And so if you see them, give them a thank you for their work they've done for us in the past. So I'd like to take a minute and just ask you, how would you finish this statement? I believe. I believe. And I think if we took the time to talk together, we'd get a lot of different responses. I think you talk to me what you believe about life. I think you talk to me about what you believe about your family, what you believe about the province. And I think there's a little bit of talk about what you believe about the Sask Party right now. That seems to be a bit of a hot button. Or about the riders. That's always good, right? You're always going to get a fair bit of stuff on what you believe about the riders. And we could stop there and spend 15 minutes, but we're not going to do that. But allow me to share with you some of the things that I believe. And I believe them deeply. And it's with this I start. Everyone in this room and everyone in this constituency has a story. And that story is an important part of the fabric of this province. And there are usually many chapters to a great story. And I believe all of us have a story to tell. And together, it's the story of our province, the province of Saskatchewan. And it's in these chapters that we find highs and lows. We find victories and defeats. And it's all of those things in my life that have shaped me into the man you see before you today. Shaped me into an individual who I believe has a well-rounded, common sense approach to life and leadership. But my story includes times of triumph and times of tragedy. At a young age, I lost my mother to cancer. I was grade 6. Later in my life, my wife and I would experience the loss of 2 children. We've had tragedy. It's part of my story. It makes up a part of who I am. But we've also had a lot of victories as a family and as a couple. A lot of victories in our small business. And it seems like, and I'm really thankful for my kids and how hard we've all worked, but every time we've chosen to expand Cedar Creek, it's gone quite well for us, and we've been successful. And it's grown into this really family fun, family-run destination is what we like to call it. That has everything from animals to corn maze to petting zoo to just Christmas store. It's just really awesome. And it's a lot of fun to work with my children. They might say something different, but as they're part of their story. But it's fun for me. But you know what? Stories need to be heard, and they need to be told. And I want you to hear this very clearly, that each and every person here, and each and every person in this constituency, and each and every person that I talk to on a daily basis, I believe has value and worth, and they have a story that needs to be heard. And I think you'd agree with me that every story, and every great story, has multiple chapters. Your life has multiple chapters. My life has multiple chapters. And they're all important because they make up who you are. We take our kids to the movies to watch a great story. We read them books of great stories. And there's lots of chapters in there. I believe that this is an incredible province we live in. And I believe the Sask Party's done some incredible things since its inception. But I also think our party needs some re-energizing, some refreshing. And we got to get back to our roots. And that refreshing and re-energizing begins with a few key components that are of a concern to me, and I believe to you as well, and as, to a number of people that I've chatted with over the last number of weeks. See, I believe this very strongly. I believe in our young people in this province, and in our teachers, and the incredible role that they play in teaching our children. And they need the resources to safely and effectively do their jobs. The job of teaching our children reading, writing, and math. And you know, I'll be the first to say it. I'm not a party insider. So I don't know with all the controversy and all the things that are going on and back and forth, but I can say this. I need a better understanding of where the resources are being spent. Because I don't think you just throw money at a problem and expect it to go away. I don't think that works. We need more accountability, I think, as to how the resources are affecting change. We need to be giving our children, and hear me say this, I believe this with all my heart, we need to be giving our children the best education and the best environment in which to learn and grow and prosper. And we need to be giving our teachers the same thing. I also believe in our nurses and our healthcare workers and providing them with the resources they need to effectively and safely do their jobs. To look after them as they look after us in this province. And months of February, March last year and this year, I've needed health care. I had surgery last March, just heading into our busy time, and this year I just dislocated my shoulder. It's getting better, but I've needed that health care. And we need to provide top-notch health care to the residents of this province, to the residents of this constituency. So both education and health care are very important to me. But I want you to hear this as well, because this is what you can count on from me. Because sometimes I think some of this is missing, and that is really good governance. And good governance to me begins with transparency, which I don't think we always get from our elected officials, and that's not right. It has stewardship, accountability, integrity, and leadership. A leadership that leads in a way that's good for everyone in the province. And that's challenging to do. I get that. But I also believe in our agriculture and our resource sector. And what we need to be doing is helping our farmers and the companies get the food and the fuel and the fertilizer that we have in abundance in this province to market around the world. We need to continue to grow and develop the value-added agriculture side of things, so that we're not just a province that just grows our crops, but that we process them here. We don't just grow them and send them away and then buy the processed stuff back. We can do more, and I think we have done more, but I think we can do better. And I think we can continue to lead the way and make it easier for companies to do business here in our province. Because if we want more programs, if we do want more money for healthcare and for education, there's two ways of getting it. You either grow your economy or you tax people more. And as a small business owner, I do not want to pay more taxes. I already pay too much, and I know we say it's the one of the lowest business taxes and whatever. It's still too much. It bugs me. I'll pay my tax, but I don't like it. But small businesses, I believe in them. You have to understand how many small businesses are in the province of Saskatchewan. It's an insane number. And they're an incredible asset to our province and our communities. And we need to be doing whatever we can to help those small businesses thrive and help entrepreneurs realize their dreams. I want to be able to talk to young people and say, I got this wild and crazy dream of starting X business. And I say, let's go. Because that's where I've lived most of my life, as an entrepreneur. And when people say, you can't do that, I say, this will be fun. Watch me, let's go. But I know what it's like as a small business. The last number of years have been tough, getting through COVID and now high interest rates. And our small business, for sure, we're just fun money for people. I'm not a necessity in any way, shape, or form at Cedar Creek. And there's a lot of other businesses like mine, like my family's. But I believe they're the backbone of this province. And I want to see more stories about small businesses starting and less stories about small businesses closing their doors. I believe in having healthy relationships with the 3 First Nations reserves that are a part of this constituency. And I will do my best, and I look forward to meeting with their leadership and seeing how we can work together. Because that's important to me, and I believe we can. There's areas of our story that need some work. There's new chapters that need to be written. And with the right leadership, I believe it's possible to write some of the best chapters yet. I don't just want to sit down with that older generation that says, back in the day, things were just so good. And it was great. I still live in, my kids hate it, but I live in the 80s as far as music goes. Because it was the best music going. Still is. But I will seek to write some new chapters for our province and for our party, and ultimately for you, the people of this constituency. And I want you to hear this, and I want you to hear it clear. 3 things that you'll hear from me over and over and over again. Because I don't ever enter a race to finish second. I want to win this. And here's what you're going to hear from me over and over and over again. I will listen, and I will learn, and I will lead. Because we need to listen to one another better than I think we do at times. I think we we disagree on stuff and then we just write each other off in times, and that's not right. It's not good. It's not healthy. It doesn't get us anywhere. But we need to listen, and I will listen to the issues going on around us. And we need to deeply listen and sincerely listen to one another. And then once we've done that, I need to learn more. No matter what we think we know, there's always more to learn. There's always two sides to every story. And if you don't believe that, you don't have children. There's always two sides to every story. But after we listen and after we learn, then we lead. We don't try to lead before we learn and before we listen. That's a disaster. And you will not get that from me. We need to lead. We need to make some decisions. The best decisions we can possibly make with the information that we have. But we need to lead. And you can count on that from me. And it will be more of a unifying and collaborative approach. I'm reading a book on leadership my son gave me, and the author said this: conversation and collaboration will always result in better answers than isolation and exclusion. What a great statement. And you need to know, I'm not an isolationist. I'm not an exclusionist. I like to talk, don't I? I like to talk. Justin and I were neighbors for a time. Then he moved away. I moved away first. But we need to do this together. And I believe with all my heart that we can make a difference if we work together, if we listen together and learn together and lead together. I'm not looking to do this in a vacuum. I don't think I've got it all figured out and I don't need you. That's not the case. I do think I have what it takes to continue to write some great chapters, some new chapters in our story for White City-Qu'Appelle. I believe, again, my experience as a small business owner can help us write some new chapters. My experience as a counselor in the Arbor Shirley can help us write some new chapters. My experience as a faith leader, working with people from all walks of life and walking with them through the highs and lows of life, dealing with family breakdowns and marriage breakdowns and drug and alcohol addictions, and seeing it firsthand. Because the faith communities that I've been a part of and been involved in believe in helping the less fortunate. They believe in helping the hurting and the broken. And I'm not going to turn a blind eye to that, because there's a lot of it in our constituency and in our province. And I believe this with all my heart, that we have a responsibility with the rights that we've been given to be aware of and care for everyone, no matter where they fall on that socioeconomic scale. And I will do that. We have work to do in this regard. We're not perfect. But with the right partnerships and the right leadership, I think we can bring hope and healing to those that need it. And ultimately, I think we can improve the quality of life for every last person in this constituency and in this province. Because to me, life is about people. Life is relationship. I believe that very deeply. My personal commitment to hard work will be key to this new chapter. I work hard. I believe in hard work. It's ingrained in me. And because of my desire to see the quality of life improve for everyone, I think I can help us write a new chapter in our story. So tonight, that's some of what I believe about my story, about our story. But now I want to ask you this. I'm asking if you believe in me. If you give me the privilege to help us write a new chapter for your family, for our constituency, for our province. And it's a chapter that improves the quality of life. Remember that clearly. It's a chapter that sees our economy grow while being good stewards of our environment. It sees our communities grow and our families grow. It's a chapter that sees our kids and our grandkids. I'm a new grandpa. 4 months old. It's awesome. Got 2 more coming in July. It's awesome. But I want to see this province be a place that my kids and my grandkids want to stay and they want to live here because they love it. And it's a great place to live and raise their family. I want it to be a chapter that the rest of Canada sees that Saskatchewan is a great place to live and raise your family. I believe I can do this. And I will commit the time and the effort and put in the hard work because I'm not under any illusions that this is going to be easy. It's not. I got people left and right saying, "Are you dumb? Did you hit your head? Why are you doing this?" Because I believe in our province and I believe in people and I believe it's time for me to step up and try this. I want you to understand this. Everybody says, "Why do you want to be an MLA?" Most people say that stands for Member of the Legislative Assembly. I don't need to be a member of anything. I'm not a political insider. I'm not trying to a political career. I'm 55. I don't need a political career. I just want to take the experience that I have and the leadership that I think I have and make a difference. So here's what I want you to think of. Anytime you hear MLA, it's not about a member of anything. It's my liaison to the assembly. That's what I want to be known as. We can go talk to Brad because he's going to take our concerns. And I can't promise you that I can bring about all kinds of change, but I can take those concerns. And that's what I want to do. I'll take our challenges. I'll take whatever we've got in this constituency to the assembly. So I'm asking you tonight, if you believe in me, and give me a shot. Because here's what it's going to take. There's a vote coming, May 1st, right here in Balgona. I got to win that first. That's stage one of the race. And again, I don't enter a race and say, well, second's nice or third's even better. No, I'm competitive. Sorry, just I am. I want to win. But I need you to help me. I need you to believe in me. And I'll need you to come out on May 1st and vote for me. 6 to 9, it's a really simple setup. It's a bit of an interesting thing, but it's how the Sask Party works. Registration from 6 to 6:15. Voting starts at 6:15. 7:30, they shut down the voting. Any candidates are there can give a 7-8 minute speech. And then the voting begins again. It's a little bit different, but it's the way it goes. But that's how it is. But I want to win this nomination. You got to be a member of this constituency. But here's the thing. I can't do this on my own. I can't get around and talk to everybody. Well, what I can do is I can ask you, if you believe in me, would you take it upon yourself to say, I'm going to find 10. I'm going to find 5. I'm going to find 2. Because every vote counts. And it's a little bit unfortunate that many times in these constituency races, it's not thousands of votes that are cast. You're going to see that. It's not thousands. It's maybe hundreds. And most times, the people that win don't win by much. I've heard guys say they won their constituency by 12 votes, by 18 votes. So don't tell me a vote doesn't matter. It matters. And it matters to me. And so I'm just asking, if you don't have a membership, get a membership. We got people here tonight to help get a membership. But then I'm asking you to take some cards around the table and give them out to just everybody. And if they want to use it as fire starter, that's fine. They held it once. They saw my face once. That's good enough for me. So, I'd love to hear from you. We got donuts, we got coffee. If you want to chat a little bit, I'm right here. But I'm not going to pretend for a minute, and I don't want you to leave here thinking I've said this. I do not have all the answers to all your questions. I don't have all the solutions. I don't. Because I need to listen, and I need to learn, and I need to lead. And you can count on that for me. My question is, can I count on you to believe in me, to let us make a difference in this constituency, and in this province, and in this party? Because I need to make a difference in this party too. We need some re-energizing. We need some refreshing. And that's what I'm going to bring to the table. So thank you. Appreciate your time. So,